what if something happens to one of them? This is the real thing. You're not watching one die or anything like that, but you just like feel so responsible. And I've always been that way. But I thought this was just the most disastrous thing that could happen. I don't usually get into that kind of thinking.
I'm just so like amazed by how bad it was and how it was only a couple weeks ago, but it looks pretty good in here now.
Why? Because some absolutely wonderful friends from Kaohsiung. Greg, there's a fellow by the name of Greg Haxton. He put together an organization to help people in trouble in Kaohsiung.
在Jill感觉到最绝望的时刻，一群20几个人的团队到场救灾，让他又感受到高雄人的善良。
There was just too much, too fast.
And the dogs, what did they do?
They swam.
台湾有大约50万个猫狗在路上到处流浪。在高雄有一位来自国外的英语老师投入收入的70%经营动物之家，到今天为止都快救到了1000只狗狗。我们一起听听看他的故事。
Ty England, I'm proud of her. I just wonder if I've lived in Taiwan in another life because I absolutely love it. I don't intend to go anywhere else.
3大袋狗食跟1小袋狗的玩具，这些都是备着要去找一个外国朋友，因为他在高雄很乡下的地方开了一个动物之家，好像那边有几十只狗。他的动物之家在一个没有地址的地方，所以我们还要到一个国小跟他集合。
I like this guy.
What is "gone to the dogs"?
Well, "gone to the dogs" is a phrase we have in the USA, and it means that you've just you've let yourself go.
So would you categorize your "gone to the dogs" as a rescue?
Yeah, it's just shelter.
It kind of feels like a sanctuary.
yeah, you could call it a sanctuary. I like that word better.
我想到动物之家的时候，想到每只狗都有各自的小笼子，不会想到到处探索，跟着朋友跑。所以 "Gone to the dogs" 让我真的很惊讶。
How long have you been in Taiwan?
3 days. My 3 days, my anniversary, 31 years.
75岁的 Jill 在他救狗的30几年的过程中，救到了600多只狗。现在在场的40只包含找不到人要养，有特别身体需求的，或是单纯舍不得送养的狗狗。
他说这是 latte， 他是被那个捕兽夹夹到的。
When I went to Taipei first, I realized that it was just too big a city for me. So I got on a bus and came on down to Kaohsiung. They said Kaohsiung's a cow town. The people were more like people are in the Midwest. Easy to talk to. Even if your Chinese is horrible, they still try their best. And, you know, people would pick me up when I got lost somewhere and take me in their car back home. My whole experience here has just been filled with that. I just wonder if I've lived in Taiwan in another life because I absolutely love it. I don't intend to go anywhere else.
So they're just separate for the time being until Lisa can rebuild?
Yeah, 2 more weeks.
2 more weeks, okay.
Then they get to go home. But we had to build all this to because they were here for 6, 7, 8 months, I think.
Gone to the dogs 被前几次的台风打得非常惨。
Because you got hit recently, like past month or 2 ago?
2, 3 weeks ago, I think.
2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Recently.
This time it was just too much rain because even though the water was flowing through, there was just too much, too fast, too heavy.
How high did the water get?
Well, it was at the highest place, it was like about here. And that was actually outside. And inside the house, it's just a little bit higher. So the water got up to about halfway up the refrigerator in here, and that's all the further it got.
And the dogs, they don't have legs that long, so what did they do?
They swam.
They can't swim forever.
I know they can't. That's why we were making those little rafts and coming up with all kinds of things to keep them afloat. I tell you, at first I just thought, how could anything be this bad? I don't usually think that way, but I was just, you know, with just so many dogs and so many people saying, no, 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 we can't.
People were turning you away?
Yeah, I mean, I was driving all over the area. I was asking anybody. To my way of thinking, there is always a solution.
There's always a solution.
Yeah, always a solution.
Yeah.
But this was the first time I couldn't find a solution. Then having this whole history of like being responsible for my brothers and sisters, it just brought on this kind of like, it's a PTSD panic of like, what if something that happens to one of them? This is the real thing. You're not watching one die or anything like that, but you just like feel so responsible. And I've always been that way. But I thought this was just the most disastrous thing that could happen. I don't usually get into that kind of thinking.
I'm just so like amazed by how bad it was and how it was only a couple weeks ago, but it looks pretty good in here now.
Why? Because some absolutely wonderful friends from Kaohsiung. There's a fellow by the name of Greg Haxton. He put together an organization to help people in trouble in Kaohsiung.
在Jill感觉到最绝望的时刻，一群20几个人的团队到场救灾，让他又感受到高雄人的善良。也在短短的几天内，让他恢复到正常。
I couldn't allow myself to think of it as a disaster any longer because which was just the most amazing outpouring. All the mattresses we needed, they bought them. That was the only thing that I didn't get from the garbage. Well, some of them I did. I got my degree in art history and worked in clay.
And now you like pull art out of the trash.
Yeah. I like this trash.
Jill 的子女说 ，Jill 把70%的收入都花在流浪狗的身上。
If viewers want to make a donation to you, how are you going to use that money?
Just reconstruction. I have to build an emergency annex. I'm so grateful for all those people that came out, but I just need a place to we can run to. I feel like we need some protection.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about just clearing out all this grass. Because we always have to cut the grass in there to keep it down, and then I'll just tuck it down right in there somewhere. I just got the biggest donations I've ever gotten in all my life.
Like how much?
From friends in the States. From Taiwan, I got 20,000, which is really a nice big fat amount too. I'm still short by about $300 a month, something like that.
Jill 曾经花过大概45万块台币，也就是15000块美金，还有2-3个月的时间，把在台湾救到的狗带去美国找永远的家。整个过程中，也只有一位认养家庭给过钱，也就给了100块美金。
I took a trip to the United States, rented a van when I got there, and then spent 2-3 months, $15,000 US. To find homes for them all over the northern Midwest in Ohio. You know, darling, that took me so much money. It took me almost 9 years to pay it off. Do you throw very well?
Decently.
Okay, see that guy in the white door?
Yeah.
That white dog there? What I want to do is I want to get this as close to him as we can.
Okay.
Just cannot get it over the fence very well.
Woo!
Lee. He got it too, didn't he?
He did.
You do very well, very well.
9 years of softball.
Oh, there we go. Absolutely. Then, were you a thrower, a pitcher? What?
No, I wasn't very serious. It was when I was really little, but in Nebraska we don't have much to do, so we just do a bunch of sports.
Ohio, Nebraska. Slightly different, but not that much.
What have you been doing for work?
I teach.
But then, how much of your salary goes to the dogs?
The salary keeps me alive.
So basically, the only money you spend on yourself is the basic necessities, food, rent.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I take clothes from everybody else. Doesn't matter if they're boys or girls. I mean, what are you going to do? You see something, you're going to walk away from it? This is the bird sanctuary. The roof is red, and you know, doves will go to a red roof because that's
what they're trained?
The way they're trained, yeah. And they're always, but what was happening was that they'd see the red roof, and then they'd start gathering outside. They'd had their wings clipped. Oh. And so they couldn't go anywhere. Hey, guys.
You've seen how Taiwanese society as a whole treats animals, and specifically dogs and cats. Do you have any notes you want to share?
I think Taiwan people are doing a great job now, and so did Tsai Ing-wen. She really brought an emphasis on animals. She's the one that did the no-kill shelters and that kind of thing, and I'm proud of her. Pong Pong, Pong Pong. We go, good girl. If you look at my arms, I think there's at least 80 puncture bites.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and even stitches in some places, because she'd be hanging off I lift up my arm and she'd be hanging on there.
Oh my God.
Like that, you know. But now we love each other.
Do you have any regrets?
I'm not into regrets.
Oh, okay.
I was given the gift of deciding that wasn't going to be one of my challenges in this life. I don't even regret my mother's death. I see it as one of the greatest gifts I ever got, because that was how else could I accomplish this? I look at my life. The first thing I say in the morning when I wake up is I love you, babies. We're rich in love.